Black Mountain, North Carolina's Cherry Street is a historic shopping district, well worth visiting and spending an afternoon at. Leading off this week's open source intelligence briefing, the Iron Legion is real. Anyone who's watched Marvel's Avengers Age of Ultron remembers the Iron Legion. It's the collection of Tony Stark's Iron Man suits, which are later commandeered by Ultron. In the beginning of the movie, though, they are a quasi-peacekeeping force controlled by the AI Jarvis. The Iron Legion is a reality. Defense One published an article by Zachery Kallenborn, Build a National Counter-Drone Network. The concept is to have defensive drones around airports to intercept drone intruders. But the interesting part of Mr. Kallenborn's article is that these drones could be controlled from anywhere across the nation via a network. And this is why I say the Iron Legion is a reality. Defense One is an amazing source of insightful and thorough content, such as Mozambique is the new hotspot for jihadist terror. In an article, Defense One cited that jihadi groups in Mozambique have begun kidnappings, deploying heavy weapons, and shooting down corporate helicopters. This article also mentions the presence of U.S. and Russian troops, along with mercenaries and private security. This is only one reason why Defense One is a good site to follow. Ian Williams and Shaan Shaikh article, Lessons from Yemen's Missile War, is a study of hundreds of ballistic missile launches and interceptions. A seriously understudied event. Nathan Vest and Colin Clark wrote an article about the war in Libya, which is a deep dive into future warfighting trends. And finally, their multi-part study speculating what a Biden administration's foreign and defense policy would look like is well worth looking into. This week, NPR reported the sudden death of the mayor of Seoul, South Korea. He was an important figure in South Korean politics and cited as a possible president. This is not only significant due to the geopolitical situation on the Korean continent, but it's also interesting due to complicated South Korean politics and the level of corruption that still exists there. South Korea had 3 decades of military rule, and the mayor had been a protester during the military. This week, the Department of Interior announced that no Grizzlies will be released into Washington State as a reintroduction campaign. Representative Dan Newhouse of the 4th District said homeowners and farmers alike didn't want them. Although not on the record, officials from the congressman's office stated that while raccoons will rummage through trash cans, that grizzlies shake down residents for food. Literally. So I am here in front of the Bramblewood Gallery in Cherry Street to ask an expert about their opinion on this news item. Evidently, the expert has no comment on the matter. This week, the European Parliament voted 526 to 105 to create a European Health Union. It appropriated nearly 10 billion euros to the EU for Health program. This addresses their need to, quote, draw the right lessons from COVID-19. This is only one of the many changes that will be coming to healthcare systems around the globe from this pandemic. And finally, this week, Kimberly Clark announced their 10-year sustainability challenge. This plan includes increased use of plantation-grown wood. If you've ever been into areas of the country like Mitchell, Avery, and Yancey counties, and further up toward Boone and Grandfather Mountain, you've seen the Christmas tree farms. For many rural areas in America that have no other industries, this plantation-grown wood is a great possibility for an income source. And that's this week's Open Source Intelligence Briefing. My name is D. Lanier Shook, and God willing, I will come to you next week with more open source intelligence. Reporting from Black Mountain, North Carolina, in the historic Cherry Street Shopping District.